Prisoner of fate, the energy bindings cut into Commander Alex Cooper's wrists as the guards dragged him across the crystalline floor of the grand audience chamber. The vast hall of the Calorian Palace shimmered with an otherworldly glow. Thousands of luminescent particles danced in the air, catching on his bloodied uniform. Move faster, human, the guard hissed, shoving him forward. Alex stumbled but refused to fall. He'd survived 3 weeks in their prison ships. He could survive this final humiliation. The room ahead opened into a massive circular chamber where hundreds of tall, purple-skinned aliens stood in tiered rows. Their multiple eyes focused on him with contempt. At the center, on an elevated platform of living crystal, sat Queen Aya. Her skin was a deeper violet than her subjects, with intricate silver markings flowing across her face and down her exposed shoulders. Her eyes, golden with vertical pupils, studied him with an intensity that made his heart race. The prisoner stands accused of violating sovereign Kylorian space and refusing to divulge. The punishment is death. Murmurs of approval rippled through the assembly. Alex raised his chin. I was protecting a civilian transport. The patrol fired first. Silence, Kai barked, striking him across the face. You will address Her Majesty with proper respect. Blood trickled from Alex's split lip, but he maintained eye contact with the Queen. Her expression remained unreadable. I have reviewed the evidence, Queen, Aya said, her voice melodic yet commanding. And I have made my decision. The assembly grew silent, anticipation filling the air. The human will not be executed, she stated. General Kai's face contorted with rage. Your Majesty, he is a threat, a spy, an enemy combatant. The Queen rose from her throne in one fluid motion. Her ceremonial robes cascaded around her tall frame. He will not die, she repeated, with quiet authority, because I claim him as my consort. Gasps and shouts erupted throughout the chamber. Impossible, Kai sputtered. A human, as royal consort. This violates every sacred tradition. I invoke the ancient right of Kael'Mora, Queen. Aya declared, my word is final. Alex stared in disbelief. His translator must be malfunctioning. Had the alien Queen just claimed him as her husband? Remove his restraints, she commanded. A guard reluctantly deactivated the energy bindings. Alex rubbed his raw wrists, trying to make sense of what was happening. Queen Aya descended the steps of her throne platform, stopping directly before him. She stood nearly a head taller than him. Her presence. Alex, I call him consort, and by our most sacred laws none may harm him. This is madness, General. Kai objected. The council will not. The council serves at my pleasure, General, she interrupted. Alex, palm upward with 6 slender fingers, unfurled. Commander Cooper, you will accompany me. Alex hesitated. His options were limited: death or becoming the consort to an alien queen. He took her hand, feeling an unexpected warmth in her touch. Why are you doing this? He whispered as she led him from the chamber. Queen Aya's voice was low, meant only for him, because sometimes survival requires the most unexpected alliances. As they exited the chamber, flanked by royal guards, Alex could feel hundreds of hostile eyes on his back. He'd escaped execution, but as the doors sealed behind them, he wondered if he'd just traded one prison for another. Silent understanding. 2 cycles had passed since Queen Aya had claimed Alex as her consort. The royal quarters she had assigned him adjoined her own chambers, separated by a translucent barrier that shimmered with bioluminescent light. He stood by the viewport, watching the twin moons of Kelleria rise over the crystalline cityscape. Are not sleeping again? Queen Aya's voice came from behind him. Alex turned to find her standing in the doorway, her ceremonial armor replaced by flowing garments of silver and blue. Her purple skin seemed to glow in the moonlight. Different gravity, different air, different everything, he replied with a shrug. Makes sleep difficult. She approached, studying him with those golden eyes. You are adapting well. For a human, most would have broken under the stress. Not most humans. A slight curve appeared at the corner of her mouth, almost a smile. No, you are not. That much is clear. Alex turned back to the window. When do we announce the divorce? Once your council calms down and finds a more politically acceptable way to spare my life. Aya moved beside him, her reflection appearing in the glass. There is no divorce in Kael'Mora. The bond is permanent. Alex's voice rose. So I'm trapped here forever as your pet human husband, though the nature of our relationship remains flexible. Alex ran a hand through his dark hair. This is insane. I was defending a civilian transport. Your patrols attacked without provocation. And now I'm married to their queen. My generals claim otherwise. They insist Earth vessels have been provoking incidents deliberately. They're lying. Perhaps Aya turned to face him directly, or perhaps you are. Which is why I claimed you, Commander Cooper. I need to understand humans, your intentions, your emotions, your unpredictability, and you think forcing me into marriage will help with that? I think keeping you alive gives me the opportunity to learn, but I suspect there is more to your species than our intelligence reports suggest. Alex studied her face, searching for deception, but finding only genuine curiosity. So I'm your research project. You're my consort, she corrected, and potentially the key to preventing a war between our worlds. The weight of her words hung between them. Come, she said abruptly, turning toward the door. There is something I wish to show you. Curious despite his frustration, Alex followed her through a series of corridors until they reached a sealed chamber. Aya's touch, the door dissolved, revealing a room filled with objects he immediately recognized as human artifacts. What is this? He asked, stunned. I have been collecting for some time. Aya gestured to the items, books, music, art from your world. Alex picked up a weathered copy of Shakespeare's sonnets, its pages dog-eared. How did you get these? Your people create beautiful things, Commander. Literature, full of emotion, art that captures feeling, music that... She hesitated, searching for words that resonates in unexpected ways. Alex ran his fingers over a small sculpture of a dancer. And your people don't create art. We create functional beauty structures that serve purpose, designs that follow mathematical precision. But this... She lifted a small painting of a sunset. This captures feeling, something my people struggle to understand. You don't feel. He asked incredulously. We feel, she corrected, but not as you do. Our emotions are controlled, regulated. Your kind embraces chaos. We find it threatening. Alex moved to a small device he recognized as an ancient music player. May I? She nodded. He activated it, and the soft notes of a piano concerto filled the room. Aya closed her eyes, her body tensing, then gradually relaxing. This creates sensations, she admitted, physical responses I cannot fully control. Dangerous, she whispered. Beautiful, he countered. Their eyes met, a moment of understanding passing between them. Over the following days, their conversations continued. Aya shared the histories of her people. Alex told her of Earth. They argued about philosophy, governance, emotion. Each night, they parted at the threshold between their chambers with growing reluctance. One evening, as Alex described the oceans of Earth, Aya's hand brushed against his, the contact brief but electric. Neither acknowledged it, but neither pulled away. Weeks later, during a private meal, Aya asked, Do you still hate being here, Commander? Alex considered the question. I miss Earth. I miss freedom. But he met her gaze. I'm beginning to understand why you did what you did. I am beginning to understand why your emotions make my people so afraid, she replied. They are powerful, unpredictable, and yet... Her voice softened, compelling that night. As Alex stood at the viewport, Aya appeared beside him without speaking. She placed her six-fingered hand beside his on the ledge. When his fingers slowly interlaced with hers, she did not pull away. Their silence said more than words ever could. Veiled hearts. The royal gardens of Keloria stretched beneath a canopy of bioluminescent trees that pulsed with gentle rhythm. Alex walked beside Aya, their shoulders occasionally brushing. In the 3 months since his arrival, they had established a routine, these evening walks, a respite from the political tensions that surrounded them. The High Council meeting was difficult today, Aya said, breaking their comfortable silence. I could tell, Alex replied. Your left antenna keeps twitching when... You're frustrated. Aya's hand moved unconsciously to the delicate appendage at her temple. You notice such things about me? I notice everything about you. The words slipped out before he could stop them. She paused, turning to face him, her golden eyes searched his why. Alex hesitated. The truth was complicated. Over these months, something had shifted between them. What began as necessity had evolved into something neither had anticipated. Because understanding you helps me survive here. That the only reason? Her directness caught him off guard. No, he admitted, not anymore. They continued walking through a grove of crystal flowers that chimed softly in the evening breeze. General Kai is gathering support, Aya said, her voice low. He claims my leadership has weakened since your arrival, that I have become Contaminated by human emotion, Alex frowned. He's been against our arrangement from the beginning. It is more than that. He opposes any peaceful contact with Earth. He believes conquest is inevitable and you don't. Aya stopped beneath the largest tree in the garden, its branches casting rippling patterns of light across her purple skin. I believe there are alternatives to war, and always have, which makes me dangerous to those who profit from conflict. Alex's hand found hers, their fingers intertwining. Naturally now? Is that why you saved me? To prove peaceful coexistence is possible? Initially, yes, her voice softened, but now? The air between them seemed to charge with electricity now. He prompted instead of answering. Aya raised her hand to his face. Her cool fingers traced the contours of his cheek with gentle curiosity. Humans are so warm, she whispered. Alex's heart thundered in his chest. Aya. She stepped closer to the space between them, vanishing. I have studied your literature, your art, your expressions of intimacy. Have you? His voice was hoarse. Yes, for research purposes, of course. A rare smile played at her lips. Of course, he echoed. His hands finding her waist. And what conclusions has your research yielded? That there are some things that cannot be understood through study alone. Her breath mingled with his. Some things must be experienced. When their lips met, the sensation was unlike anything Alex had known. Her skin cool against his, the slight electric current that seemed to pulse between them. His arms encircled her, drawing her closer as her hands slid into his hair. They separated breathless eyes, locked in wonder. That was... Aya began. Yeah, Alex nodded, understanding perfectly. Oh. The sound of approaching footsteps broke the moment. Aya stepped back, composing herself as a royal guard appeared. Your Majesty, the ambassador from the Southern Territories requests an immediate audience. Very well. She turned to Alex. We will continue our discussion later. He watched her go, his body still humming with the echo of their contact later. That night, as Alex prepared for sleep, the barrier between their chambers dissolved. Aya stood in the opening, her ceremonial robes replaced by a silken garment that accentuated her tall, elegant form. May I enter? She asked, though they both knew the question was merely formality. Alex nodded, unable to find words. She approached with regal grace, stopping before him. On my world, physical intimacy is rare, clinical, purposeful. Her voice was soft, vulnerable, but humans you touch. You connect. Your literature speaks of passion, desire, love. Yes, he managed. I find myself curious. Her golden eyes held his about these human experiences. Alex reached for her hand, drawing her closer, curious enough to experience them firsthand. I am a scientist at heart, she replied with the hint of a smile. Thorough research requires personal investigation. Their second kiss, deeper than the first, led to exploratory touches. Curious discovery, whispered questions, and breathless answers. Their differences became points of fascination rather than division as night deepened. They learned each other's bodies with tender determination, finding unexpected harmony in their alien anatomies afterward. As they lay entwined, Aya traced patterns on his chest. This changes everything, she whispered. For us, or for our worlds? Both, perhaps. Her expression grew serious. What I feel for you, it contradicts everything my people believe about humans, about emotion. Alex kissed her forehead. That's exactly why the universe brought us together. She settled against him, her breathing synchronizing with his. Perhaps, but there are forces that will not accept this. General Kai grows bolder in his opposition. His faction believes. I have betrayed our people by choosing you. Let them believe what they want, Alex said fiercely. What's between us is real and dangerous, Aya replied. If they knew how deeply I have come to care for you. Then we don't let them know. Alex held her tighter. In public, we maintain the appearance of a political arrangement. Nothing more. She nodded against his chest. A wise strategy for now. As they drifted toward sleep, neither noticed the shadow that passed briefly across their viewport, nor the glint of surveillance equipment capturing their intimacy. In the military quarter, General Kai reviewed the footage, a cruel smile spreading across his face. The queen has fallen, he murmured, compromised by human weakness. Just as I predicted, he turned to his assembled officers. Prepare the contingency. We move against the throne at the Festival of Ascension. The officers saluted in unison for the purity of Caloria. For the purity of Caloria? Kai echoed, his eyes fixed on the image of the human and his queen and the end of this abomination. Bloodied Stars, the festival of Ascension, transformed the Kalorian capital into a spectacle of light and ceremony. Crowds filled the streets as Queen Aya and Alex stood on the ceremonial balcony overlooking the central plaza, her formal regalia glittered with embedded crystals, while Alex wore the modified royal consort attire she had. "Commissioned for him, you seem tense," Alex whispered as they waved to the assembled crowds. "General Kai and his closest officers are absent," Aya replied, her smile never faltering. "For the public it is." Concerning, before Alex could respond, an explosion rocked the western wing of the palace. Screams erupted as smoke billowed into the sky. "Your Majesty, we must evacuate Commander Sarah." Her loyal head of security appeared, pushing them toward the interior. They had barely reached the royal chambers when the attack came. Soldiers in modified armor burst through the corridor, their weapons raised. "Protect the Queen," Sarah shouted as she and her guards formed a defensive line. Laser fire erupted. In the confined space, Alex pulled Aya behind a column as the acrid smell of plasma filled the air. "This way," Aya hissed, activating a hidden panel in the wall. A passage appeared in my private escape route. They slipped inside the panel ceiling behind them just as they heard Sarah cry out in pain. "We can't leave them." Alex protested. "We must." Aya's voice was anguished but firm. "If Kai captures us both, it's over." They navigated the dark passage, emerging in the royal armory. Aya immediately moved to a secured cabinet, retrieving her ceremonial weapons and a secondary set. "Can you use these?" she asked, tossing him a plasma pistol and energy shield. Alex checked the unfamiliar weapon, finding it similar enough to Earth models. "Looks like I'm about to learn." The sound of pursuit echoed through the passages. "They're tracking us somehow." Aya's eyes narrowed in concentration. "We need to reach the communication hub. Alert the loyal provinces." They moved through service corridors, encountering resistance twice each time they fought together. Aya with graceful precision, Alex with determined adaptability. At a junction, they were ambushed. General Kai himself stepped forward, flanked by elite guards. "The corrupted queen and her human pet," he sneered. "How convenient to find you together. This is treason, Kai." Aya's voice carried royal authority, despite their circumstances. "No, Your Majesty." Kai gestured to a projection displaying intimate images of Aya and Alex together. "This is the treason, consorting with the enemy, contaminating royal blood." Alex raised his weapon, but Kai was faster. A blast struck Alex's shoulder, sending him sprawling against the wall. "Alex!" Aya cried out, rushing to his side. "How pathetic!" Kai laughed. The mighty queen brought low by human weakness. As Kai raised his weapon for the killing shot, Alex lunged forward, activating the energy shield. The blast deflected, striking one of Kai's own guards. What followed was chaos. Aya unleashed her neural disruptor, a weapon bonded to her royal DNA. Kai's forces fell screaming as their nervous systems overloaded. Alex fought through his pain, providing cover as they battled toward the communication hub. Blood soaking his uniform, Alex stood guard as Aya broadcast. "Emergency protocols to loyal commanders. This is your Queen Caloria, stands at the precipice. General Kai has betrayed us all. Rally to the palace. All loyal forces converge." With the message sent, they prepared for their final stand. "Kai's remaining forces closing in if we don't survive this," Alex said, gripping her hand. "I need you to know." "I know." Aya touched his face. "I have always known." The doors burst open. But instead of Kai's forces, Commander Sarah appeared, bloodied but alive, with loyal reinforcements. "The provinces are responding, Your Majesty," she reported. "Kai's coup is failing." Dawn of two skies, 3 days after the failed coup. Alex stood at the familiar viewport, watching shuttles arrive from across the Kalorian territories. His wounded shoulders still ached beneath its healing wrap. The door slid open as Aya entered. The last of Kai's conspirators had been captured. She announced, "The High Council awaits my judgment." "And what will that judgment be?" Alex turned to face her. "Once it would have been execution." She moved beside him. "But I find myself considering alternatives. Rehabilitation, dialogue, understanding." Her eyes met his. "You have changed me, Alex Cooper. You've changed me too," he replied. She took his The Council has formally recognized our union, not merely as political expedience, but as true bond. They had little choice after we shed blood together, so I'm officially your consort now. No more whispers of human pet. There will always be whispers, she smiled, but now they whisper with respect. Even fear your actions during the coup have earned you a new name among my people? Oh, Vaicorian, she translated, Shield of the Queen. Alex laughed softly. I like it better than prisoner. At least her expression grew serious. I have been considering your proposals. For diplomatic relations with Earth, Alex's heart quickened, and I have approved them. She squeezed his hand. We will send emissaries, establish formal communication. Cautiously at first, but with purpose. Kai would call it weakness. Kai failed to understand true strength. She moved closer. What we have built between us, it is stronger than weapons or armies. It is understanding despite our differences. Because of our differences, Alex wrapped his arms around her. So what happens now? Now we rebuild. She rested her forehead against his. We create something new, something neither of our worlds has seen before. Later they stood together before the assembled High Council and representatives from the provinces. Aya resplendent in ceremonial armor, Alex at her side as equal not captive. The attempt to overthrow our government has failed. She addressed them, her voice carrying to every corner, but it has revealed a truth we can no longer ignore. Isolation breeds fear. Fear breeds hatred. Hatred leads to destruction. She gestured to Alex. This human was once our enemy. Now he stands as my consort, my shield, my heart. Together we have discovered what is possible when we choose understanding over suspicion, connection over division. Alex stepped forward. Earth and Caloria have existed as potential adversaries for too long. Today we offer a different path forward together, learning from each other. Growing stronger, not through conquest, but through alliance, Aya took his hand, raising it before the assembly. They called him threat. I call him husband before you all. I renew this bond. Not as political strategy, but as true choice, and through this union, I pledge a new era for our peoples. The chamber erupted in thunderous approval that night under twin moons. Alex and Aya stood on their private balcony looking toward the stars that separated and connected their worlds. Do you think it will work? Alex asked. Peace between such different species? Aya smiled, drawing him close. We are proof that it can. Her lips found his in the darkness. Two worlds, one future. As they embraced, the first communication relay from Earth blinked to life. In the palace command center, the message simple but profound. Caloria, we hear you, we are listening, we are ready. A new dawn was breaking across two worlds.